Live. Sims complete. Here we go. I'm Matt Sims. That's Phil Simms. We're live here. Brought to you by FanDuel. Sponsored by, of course, our Believe Network, who takes care of us. Thank you to Lindsay, who's our producer of the show and helping us prepare each and every weekend for this fantastic show and to review all the games that we saw this weekend. Got another great one tonight, but Big Guy had a lot of action today. FanDuel, who sponsors our show. Chiefs, even for next week against the Giants, they're 5.5 point favorites now against the New York Giants, considering how the Chiefs have been playing and how the Giants have been playing. So that's going to be an interesting game for sure. But let's dive into it, Big Guy. We're going to start this one today, of course, with the leadoff here. Let's go with the Giants-Cowboys matchup. And I guess my question to you is, where do we even start this conversation of this game? Because it seemed like it had 8 or 9 different games rolled into one.
It was everything. Here's my assessment of all week 2 here so far. My gosh, some of the decisions by coaches, that's one thing. And I think the other, that kick field goals early in the game when you have to.
Right.
Things like that. In other words, early in the game, get some scoring going there.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest thing I took out of it is how the offense, if you're attacking, it's going to work because they're throwing flags on everything. Yeah. My God, it was a flag bonanza today. That's every game. Oh my gosh. And I understand it, but you got to give the defensive backs and the defense a little chance sometimes.
Right.
So that was my take up. But the Giants, that game down in Dallas, well, you can't complain about the Giants not getting the offense going because, man, it was rocking. And Russell Wilson might have been physically one of the best games I've ever seen him throw the damn football. Yeah. Under pressure, big throws, everything like that. But here's my question, Matt, and I'll let you answer it. Where in the hell's the defense?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Man. Defense going to carry them. Defense. Now, Brian Burns, there was a couple of guys over at Thibodeau. Man, they earned their pay today. But, the Giant defense hasn't gelled yet, I guess.
Yeah, they haven't really quite pieced it all together. Somebody who popped on one of the sacks, early in the football game, Elijah Garcia, with a powerful, just like bull rush there over the right guard, winning in that operation. Brian Burns, I think really a great start to the football season. Even Abdul Carter has had a great start, and it hasn't accumulated into the stats on the stat sheet yet, but he is absolutely being disruptive in that front. One of the guys that I feel like has been a little underwhelming to start the season so far for the New York Giants defense is Dexter Lawrence, right? Is really the cornerstone of the defense. And right now, I think Dexter is going through the process of kind of what a few other stars across the league are going through. And that is just not enough time on task in camp. Right. You're protecting your star football player. You don't want to throw him out there too often in camp. A lot of bodies flying around, people falling on top of each other. It happens all the time in the offense and defensive line play. And Dexter Lawrence isn't quite in that game shape ready. It does look like he might be just kind of working through that right now. And that's unfortunate because it seems like the rest of the defensive line is doing a lot of good things and winning a lot of matchups and creating some havoc. But Sexy Dexy just hasn't quite hit his stride yet defensively for this crew.
Yeah, I think it's so true. There's nothing worse as a quarterback than having pressure right up the gut, right in the middle. I mean, because it's all coaches. I learned so much when I was doing games. We can help the tackles out. We can't help the center and guards.
Right.
They're kind of stuck. So when they get overpowered, that just affects the quarterback, affects decision-making, what he sees, his ability to make throws. And you're right, Dexter Lawrence has got to become, you got to sit there and the game is over. We don't know who to give the trophy to the edge rushers or Dexter Lawrence, the people inside. And I think that's what the Giants envisioned. But you're 100%. When you don't get enough practice in training camp, it's hard to come out and be your best. So a lot of action today, I'll say that. Both teams, the defenses were on the field a lot of situations. So we're talking about Kansas City coming here next week against the Giants. I'm all of a sudden thinking this could be a really good game.
Yeah, it seems like they match up pretty well with Kansas City. And considering that Kansas City really, there is no threat receiver-wise that is as scary as what the Giants just saw in CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. And I think that was probably the scariest part about what we saw from the Cowboys is that it seemed like George Pickens and Dak started to really, start that gel process, right? There was a few plays where you're like, man, George is really impressive. And even one, he got called for an offensive pass interference that I thought was a great example of what you said earlier, a soft call on George Pickens' pass interference there. And it was an explosive play. It was one that went for a good chunk of yardage. But Dak Prescott's playing really good football.
Bro, 2 games in a row. He did against the Eagles, played really well. And, I think as I said last week, your brother even said it. He's trimmer, looks freer, moving around better, throwing the ball, being aggressive. Man, the one thing about that Giant game today was fun. They were throwing it down the field.
Yeah, right.
I turned it back. But they were a lot of deep passes. And, when you throw those high, deep passes, I tell people this all the time, that the defensive back, there's nothing worse. He does not want to see those high arcing throws because they got to track the receiver, find the ball, try not to have interference. I mean, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, it is.
And again, Russell Wilson made a couple throws that were incredible. Hey, here we go. Let's do this. So Kansas City and Philadelphia just finished.
Yeah.
Here's what just a quick note I wrote.
Are we leaving the Giants? Are we done with the conversation with the G-men? Or you feel like you've checked that box enough? Okay.
Well, yeah. We can't just come on here. I mean, I could talk about a lot. Hey, Scatterboo. Okay, Scatterboo.
Yeah.
How good was that? And
but we need more, right?
Yeah,
we
you
need
said
more.
it to me. Yeah. Let him run it. He's not a gimmick guy. He can catch it. He breaks tackles. And he looked really quick on the field today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know he's not, I'm just judging it by his body type and what we expected. I think we misled ourselves, the fans, and, probably me too, that he was going to be this, 3rd and 1, give it to him and he'll smash it in there. No, there's much more to him than that. That was a coming out party for the Giants offense today.
Yeah.
They mixed it up. They had a lot of stuff there for it. Russell Wilson made the plays, and some young guys got in there and got it done. And so it's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I think Kafka overall, even Dayball said it in his press conference post game that he called a really good game. Russell played a really good game despite the 2 mistakes that he made in this one. I mean, it's not a game of perfection, as you have always told me and all of our viewers. That being said, there was multiple opportunities for the New York Giants today to win this football game. And I think that's what's frustrating too, right? Is that the Giants, it seems to be one of these things. They're right there. And just the 1 or 2 things that go in the wrong direction for them. And really, that's one of the 1 points that I would say defensively, they made the mistake of playing way too soft and careful at the end of the game with Aubrey and his leg and his ability. You can't quite play that vanilla or that soft in critical situations right there. And that's when Dak Prescott, I believe, hit Ferguson over the middle for a big completion that got to him about midfield. And of course, when they got to midfield, you're like, all right, they're in field goal range now. So it really changed, I think, a lot of it has to change a little bit, right? How you attack Dallas offensively in critical situations like that, especially with Aubrey and his skill set.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. I mean, it was. I was yelling at the TV. Come on, don't you know who the kicker is?
Yeah.
And, they weren't listening to me. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's right.
So there's so much to unpack there. And I think if you watch the game, there's a lot of positives for the Giants, man, but it's going to be hard to feel it because of the loss, because you had so many chances to win and everything. But still, the offense, we got a lot of the Giants got a lot of guys in rhythm to be part of the offense. Yeah. And Malik Neighbors really looks like that receiver that you always want.
That's right.
He just looked explosive and everything. Catches the ball with ease, makes runs. So that was all good.
Yeah.
Let me do this real quick. I'll go to the Kansas.
And your boy Wan'Dale. You like Wan'Dale Robinson a whole lot. And there's no doubt that Russell Wilson and Wan'Dale have developed a really good chemistry here to start the football season, which I think is very important outside of just Malik Neighbors being productive.
Right.
All right. So what do you want to do next? What game you want to get us to next?
Kansas City, Philadelphia. I want to do it this way.
All right.
For Kansas City, they lose the Super Bowl, so that's hanging over them. Then they go down to Brazil, and, Justin Herbert just rips them apart.
Yeah.
But today, just watching them play, that was more like who they are. In other words, they were really rough. They were doing a really good job against the Philadelphia offensive line. I got a lot of things here when I talk about this.
Yeah.
The defensive front, what caught me during the game, the defensive front for the Eagles, it's not the same. They're missing a few guys, and I really noticed it during the game. Mahomes had a lot of freedom, more time to throw than you'd expect against it. Nothing like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's just one thing that jumped out at me. That was kind of the first thing. But they did show all that toughness, Chris Jones, all that the energy and everything. And it was like they kind of got it back. All right, now we got rid of the Super Bowl and everything, and it's all over. Now we're going to play.
Yeah.
And my other thought is this. Philadelphia, man, that's conservative. Wow. It's beyond conservative. And it looked good last week because Jalen Hurts could run all over the place because the blocking was so good.
Of course.
But today, it just, man, the game, everything was these receivers. I'll be really surprised if they're not going to talk about what they're not doing out in the field. We got to see the ball. And it's almost like they didn't even try. So I was really confused by the Eagles offense, but feeling pretty positive about the Kansas City Chiefs just because the way they played with urgency. It wasn't Mahomes' best game ever, but man, it's close.
Yeah.
And they can make big plays. His movement gives the receiving core more time to get deeper down the field. And if they do it enough, just like they did today, they're going to hit a few of those things to give them a chance to get back to where they want to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said it during the game to me. You were just like, this is a toughness check type of football game for Andy Reid, for Spags, and the Kansas City Chiefs, right? This is kind of a reminder of, hey, last year is over. We're a new team this year. Now, despite the loss, right, they, like you said, they kind of checked that box of like, all right, we're kind of back. We got our feet back underneath us, and we're ready to brawl with some really good football teams. It's just going to look a little bit different, right? I think the high point really for them is Travis Kelce getting involved. Tyquan Thornton, right, flashed, missed a few other opportunities to him. He was targeted 5 times, only had 2 catches. And, there was a few that were like damn close that missed him on a go down the sideline that I think would have been an explosive play right for them and kind of changed the way they felt about themselves late in the game in the one-on-one situations. On the opposite side, you're right, though. Just Kevin Patullo right now playing it safe, trying to figure out what it is that works well for him, but it's almost like, man, it's really careful.
Oh my God.
It's borderline. Like, come on, man. Do we even have any other plays that go past 5 yards other than just when Jalen Hurts is scrambling and trying to throw the football down the field late after?
I think it goes this way. They don't feel good. They don't feel the rhythm going and all that, but they're still winning the game, and they got another way to win. That's the one thing about the Eagles.
Yeah.
They got countless ways to win games, even now, missing a few of the key components that they had last year. But yeah, we saw this early last year. Ultra conservative. My gosh. And they finally started to open it up. And, really, come on. We're watching all these games, Matt. I just can't get over the aggressiveness.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring them up to you later, of just some of these coaches and the offenses.
Right.
I mean, they're just like, we're going after you. To help this day of the defense dominating the pace of play, we're going to start, calling plays and being aggressive. You hear me pick out teams every week. I got a couple this week too.
Yeah.
They just lined up and said, here we come.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned that because as I think about it now, we used to always think of September being an advantage for the defense, right? It's always an advantage defense in September because offenses don't get enough rhythm and all that. It's kind of flipped on its head this year. It's a little bit more, it's advantage offense because they just have so many plays and there's so many good quarterbacks and receivers now that can just make these unbelievable game-changing plays. And teams just aren't dialed in yet, whether it's their heavy zone or if they're playing too much man early. It kind of depends, obviously, on individual schemes. But like even for Dak's situation, every time that the Giants played man, he was finding somebody for an explosive play.
Yeah,
they were able to separate, of course, like their 2 best guys in the crew, they were able to find that space. And of course, Dak's good enough for his zone where he's going to make the right decision. He's played too much football, right, to not make the right decision. So
it's too easy.
It's too easy.
There's a guy in the middle of the field they're playing man to man. Let me think. Oh yeah. Oh, I got that one guy. Let's throw it to him. Yes.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I
It
think
takes all the thought out of it, right? For
yeah,
a
it really
good quarterback.
does.
Yeah.
The zones were too far and too loose too. You and I saw it when we watched the game. You can play zone and still be aggressive.
Yeah.
You don't have to just sit back and let's try to make the tackle. But yeah,
Right.
I don't want to. Hey, why I bring it up? I'll bring it up right now and let you answer this.
Yeah. What's the game we're gonna go to now?
Oh, it's Denver and Indy.
Yeah.
I mean, both play callers are like, let's go.
Who was the better play caller today?
Oh boy, that's a good one.
Don't do it. You know who it was.
Yeah, Shane Steichen.
It was Shane Steichen. It absolutely was. It really was. And I think Daniel Jones too, like just the way that he's looked. And hey, happy for both quarterbacks. Russell Wilson with the Giants, it's working. Daniel Jones and the Colts, it's working. His ability to just decipher the play call and what they're doing. Shane Steichen's ability to get number one open just repeatedly. I think Vance Joseph got caught in too much man coverage in some of those low red zone situations, which were like super easy pitch and catches. The one swing to Jonathan Taylor out of the backfield. I mean, no one was within the screen when he threw the football to him. And this is Jonathan Taylor. This is one of the better running backs in the league.
I think he's pretty good. I don't know what the thought is, but he's pretty good.
He's pretty good. And there's, young Tyler Warren, and he's targeted 7 times in the day, but he gets 4 catches for 79 yards, excuse me. Alex Pierce had a really good game. Josh Downs. And this is a secondary, right, that we think very highly of with the Denver Broncos.
Maybe they're talked about the best in the NFL, but it doesn't matter. They got so many other things going on. And how about this? They got 473 yards. I thought it was going to be more than that, to be honest.
Jonathan Taylor, right? 25 for 165. I mean, man.
50 in the pass game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, let's just do it all. I mean, Jonathan Taylor, he played. He's going home tonight going, hey, hun, is my contract up this year?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Because you can see now with Daniel Jones and the rhythm of the offense and all that, that it's just it's helping their offensive line tremendously.
Right.
I noticed that too. Quentin, was he hurt? I know one of their linemen got hurt. I don't know if he stayed in the game or they had to take him out.
Yeah, I'm not totally sure on that, so I can't comment at that moment.
Yeah, I should have brought it up. But but what an attack. And you're right. I was watching the game going, Shane Steichen is Sean Payton.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were just rolling. But again, Bo Nix back there. I've never seen a quarterback get deeper and farther behind the line of scrimmage than him.
Yeah, right.
Play action fake. He's rolling out. He's 17 yards deep. But somebody wide open too.
Right. Right. Troy Franklin has been awesome for them, right? Yes. I mean, it's just the young man out of Oregon has really turned into, at times, I feel like, well, especially today, he was receiver 1 for them. And he's got a good receiver body. And I feel like he's just one of those guys that, like Sean Payton, he's going to make him a superstar before the year is over, right? Everyone in the country is going to know who Franklin is by the end of this year because of the way that they're able to attack you in multiple ways. And you're right, the movement of Bo Nix out of the pocket, his athleticism, his ability to throw on the run, it really is super dynamic. And I guess the one thing is and I guess the glaring part of it too is like Indianapolis, their ability to run the football, right, and to just be aggressive on the ground, I think really was kind of a little bit of the separator between the two teams today, whereas Denver still hasn't quite found their stride yet of being one of those just maul it type of run teams.
But the good thing about Denver is they're going after it. Right. They're going to find it. And, we might not have found it all the way this week, but we'll get it next week. Yep. And look, they did have the game won. Indy missed a field goal, but Tillman for the Broncos leveraged. He used somebody to get higher, whatever. 15-yard penalty. Indy gets another kick. They make it. They win. So the game was extremely close. I thought well played. I tried to watch us, man. So tell everybody what we did today, Matt, or, we tried to do. We got all the games in front of us.
Yeah. We set it up. Big Guy got 2 extra TVs in the living room, and man, it was a lot. It was a lot, and we had it seemed like a family party going on at the same time. So there was a lot going on today. Yeah, there was no downtime, right, in what we were doing today.
Oh, it was. I was like, okay, what can? Oh, but what really ruined it? The Giant game. I was kind of playing along with it.
Yeah.
And you would go, they didn't get it because there was one of the screens over there had it a little ahead of what I was watching.
That's right. That's right.
No, you ruined it. I want to at least go through the suspense of what's going on.
It made it worse because you had to live it twice at that point. That's what hurt,
right.
Especially Aubrey's game-winning field goal too. You're just like, damn, he made it, and then you watch it again. It's like it's like getting stabbed in the heart 2 times in a row. But I mean, here the Denver Broncos 1-1, losing a nail biter, and this one, of course, the penalty being one of the main factors to that. And the Indianapolis Colts here, they are 2-0, and man, they might be the best team in the AFC South. By the way that they're playing, the skill group that they have, the defense played solid today. And really, I think both offensive lines did a really good job of protecting their quarterbacks and bailing them out of some tough situations to get some really good defensive players in this football game.
Let's do this real quick. Let's go. I kind of want to do it. There's a couple of them I do.
Yeah.
So there's 2 games, Pittsburgh and Seattle.
Right.
And I just kind of
let's go to Pittsburgh, Seattle. So let's talk about that. What are your thoughts so far with Pittsburgh, Seattle? Right, as you look at that football game and how it took place, you were a little shocked by how it looked to you.
Well, Seattle is, I think, very well coached. I like Geno Smith a lot. Not Geno Smith.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Yeah, it's jet quarterbacks, man. They're everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
So, but I like that about them, and I was just watching and trying to go over it. And let me see my notes. Yeah, but my thought was this: the fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers struggled to beat the Jets, who were absolutely horrendous today.
Yeah,
I mean, I can't even get into it. But I thought, maybe they got it. But they needed some luck. They didn't get it today, and they looked awful.
Right.
In every respect. So the Aaron Rodgers thing, now it worries me. Mike Tomlin, look, they're not running the ball well. The offensive line's not playing well. And the defense surely is not playing well.
The defense really, I think, is probably the most concerning part about the football team. Like, I didn't expect Aaron Rodgers to light it up and to remind everybody, like, hey, I'm the Super Bowl MVP and all that, and be that dynamic. The defense and the way they've been pushed around, Kenneth Walker, right, 105 yards on the ground. But, like, there was some – I mean, hey, Big Phil, you would have had a good day running the football for the Seattle Seahawks. Like, there was a few plays where you're like, man, like, is this really the Pittsburgh Steelers just getting pushed around like this, especially in the interior part of their defensive line? And that's 2 weeks in a row. So the fact that the Seahawks saw it, we're like, we're going to do it again, and Pittsburgh still couldn't correct it is a little concerning.
We watched it because they won the game against the Jets.
Yeah.
And it's how they won it with the field goal, the last minute, Aaron Rodgers 4 touchdowns. So, I got enamored with all that thinking, okay. But now that I see today, I'm going, okay, I got to really be careful about my evaluations and getting too excited about certain things that happen on the field.
Right.
In other words, let's give it some time, be realistic, and don't judge everything on one game.
Yeah.
There's enough people on TV that do that. I don't want to be that guy.
Well, we're all prisoners of the moment, and that's just part of football, right? And that's why it is just one of the best games in the world, too, because it is just, hey, what happened that Sunday? That's all that matters. And then by Wednesday, all right, we kind of change our opinions and we feel a little bit better about certain teams that won or lost and all of that. But, the Seattle Seahawks, man, they were ready to go today. And you got to just Sam Darnold played some good football. He had 2 turnovers on the day, but overall saw the field well. I thought made a lot of good decisions and good throws. And it's really good to see that Jackson Smith and Jigba really just emerging as like that dude for them in critical situations.
I think this is what I'm finding out, or I'm learning even after 2 weeks.
Yeah,
man, I don't know where this league's going this year.
Yeah,
it's just don't. If you're making these long range predictions, good luck.
Yep.
It's just there's too many damn good athletes in the NFL, and then when it's your day and you get the opportunities, it can come out of nowhere. You explode. You win a game for your team by yourself. I think that's every team has that situation.
Honestly, I cover college football, right? And there was a lot of great games yesterday, and I feel the exact same way about college football this year too. I think that the door is wide open for probably 10 to 15 teams, and we'll just see who gets hot at the right time and who can piece it together. But it is fascinating. You're right. Right now in the NFL, I don't really. You could say the Eagles. But even if you're really watching the Eagles the first 2 weeks, you really think they're just like a shoe-in to be in the Super Bowl? I really don't feel that way yet about that football team yet. And of course, I don't feel that way about any football team in the NFL right now.
All right, here we go. Let's go to the Chicago Bears go to Detroit.
Oh man, yeah.
And here's what happened to me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, now that's right. The Lions got embarrassed by Green Bay. Oh yeah, and so did Washington. Okay, so let me take a different attack there. And then they got the golden child coming back to Detroit. And I saw that handshake after the game. And the big guy for Detroit, he's just like going, "How'd you like it?" He's like that. Yeah, I did, yeah.
Right.
Oh, in fact, right now he's on TV, and man, he could give a great after a game speech when you win. He's awesome. He really is. But yeah, so it changed my eyes a little bit about Detroit. Jared Goff had another, he played really, really well. I'm not saying he had a good game in Green Bay, but he tried not to have turnovers and stuff like that.
Right.
But Detroit looked like the team we saw last year. And the Chicago Bears, man, I don't know what to say. And this disturbed me a little bit. At the end of the game, Ben Johnson put in Tyson Bagent.
Yeah, and why does that concern you so much?
Let the damn starter finish the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Coach, why did you put him in for a couple throws? Is there could you change? You're just digging up dirt.
Right.
And I really mean it. I don't care if it's one throw or what. It's one too many.
Yeah. Is he digging up dirt, you think, unnecessarily, or is there maybe something more to that?
No, I'm sure it's nothing about any of the things I'm thinking of.
Okay.
But I'm just telling you, it
like why leave the door open for people to be creative,
now radio show tomorrow morning in Chicago. Well, what do you think? Are they going to?
Well, yeah, I mean, I already know how Get Up's going to start tomorrow, right? They love talking about the Chicago. After they're done with the Dallas Cowboys, of course, they'll get to the Chicago Bears and they'll say, here they are ruining another young quarterback and all that. They'll go through the history and all the stats. But yeah, I understand. I get it. And it is concerning. And this was an ugly football game, how they played. And it wasn't really like, it was from the jump. Didn't even matter, right? The Detroit Lions were in complete control of this football game the entire time. The good thing and the positive thing, I think, overall for the Detroit Lions, and of course for John Morton, the new offensive coordinator, got back to their roots of control the line of scrimmage. Let's run the football. Let's let Gibbon Montgomery get off and run and be aggressive. And 94 yards for Gibbs, 57 for Montgomery today, but just patient with the run, over 30 attempts, mixed in some of the other plays too with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Craig Reynolds too. So a good mixture of plays back to that Ben Johnson formula for the running back room in the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, really interesting. Yeah, it's I'm really now a little more. I'm super focused on Chicago Bears. Where's this going to go?
Yeah,
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna wait till about after Game 6, and then just look at the whole picture and see what I got.
Yeah,
I was teased in their first game against Minnesota.
Right.
And this was, man, I don't know, Matt. This every time I turned over and looked at it, or as I was watching, I go, damn, let me watch something that it's better than that.
Yeah, it was kind of getting worse. Like as you kept looking at it, you're like, man, I see this car crash and I just want to stop looking at it at the moment. And, and I think that's what's concerning too, is that you saw some bright spots against Minnesota. You saw that, like, okay, this looks better. It looks more organized. The offense is a little bit cleaner of an operation, but then it kind of started to unravel. And that's where I was like, oh, there's something else going on here that's just not clean. The operation and all that was sloppy. So now that you mentioned this Tyson Bagent thing, that's also just like, I don't know. It does make me kind of second guess what it is going on behind the scenes there just a little bit.
Well, I think you said it best. Why open that door? And I'm almost 1,000% sure there wasn't anything meant behind it.
Right.
But it's not about that. It's about how many people are going to run with it.
Yeah.
You're trying to get the quarterback going. You're trying to get all this stuff. Oh, we're teaching him how to break the huddle and to be this and, be a good guy with the snap count. Okay. Don't tell the world everything you're doing. Just get it done and let us see it.
Right.
I don't like that either. I hate it when today we worked on just communication. Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't get any better, right? Because the Bears got the Cowboys next week, and that's going to be an interesting game to see how that plays out. That's going to be, of course, all eyes are going to be on that matchup with the Cowboys and the Bears.
Everybody's all eyes on everybody now. Mad they didn't get the Cowboys at late game or the 7 o'clock or whatever, because that was a great game today. All right, here we go. A couple guys I want you to talk about.
Oh, and real quick, just Bills Jets. All right, just
Bills Jets
overall. Damn. Okay.
The
Jets got me. They got me. They fooled me.
Oh, well, they got everybody, but it was so bad.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any crowd noise. They had no emotion.
Right.
They acted like it was a preseason game. They got no play from come on, the Jets got a good offensive line, good defensive line. They got a receiver or two. They got defensive backs that can cover. I mean, there's no reason. And Buffalo was sleepwalking.
They were.
Game. And they weren't.
Josh, there was one guy that was not sleepwalking. Well, I guess two groups, two personnel groups. Okay, two Utah.
Yeah, right.
Well, first of all, for more so for the Buffalo Bills, the O-line and James Cook, right?
Yeah.
Those boys got after it today. And
it was like, Matt, they wanted to give Josh Allen a day off.
It really did feel that way. It did. And then we're like, hey, we're just going to let our boy, who just signed a new contract, we're going to let everybody know, like, yeah, he's still that dude, and we could just win this way. And I think that's really what was telling, that the Bills kind of came into it, and they did this last year too, where it was like one game plan was Josh heavy. Then the next week it was very James Cook focused. This was a James Cook type of game. Man. And they leaned into it. Jets had no answer for it. And did James Cook look fast or what? Man, he was explosive.
Because he is fast as hell.
That's right. That's right.
And you and I have talked. We won't get into this discussion. We'll do it soon. But
yeah,
man, you need, and you can have them, a really fast running back.
Right.
If we block them and knock them down, we need somebody who can score.
Yeah.
You don't want to knock them down and get 5. We need big plays. And I saw it all day. I'd see a team and the guy run. I go, yeah, this team over there could use somebody who can run like that. And they're there.
Right.
I watch college football. You watch it all day on Saturday and you're working. It seems like every team has a just blazing halfback in college football.
And I think that's another point on the opposite side, the other sideline, that drove me a little crazy. I mean, and maybe it's telling too, like maybe Pittsburgh's D-line is that bad because the Jets couldn't do anything in the run game this week, nor did they really have any rhythm offensively to what we saw a week ago. So is it the Jacqueline Hyde of the Jets, or is Pittsburgh's defense really just that sketchy here to start the football season?
I think that's it.
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh, right?
J.J. Watt did that game, the first game of the year.
Yeah.
And he kind of like, man, what the defense? Oh, he didn't know what to say.
I know.
Because he was sitting there seeing it in person, like, what's going on? But like clockwork, he kind of says a few things, and the next play, there's JJ just killing somebody.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's like Breece Hall looked great last week, and here he is today. Nothing. And I didn't even notice him in the game. That's like, how can one of, like, as they would claim, right, one of the better running backs in the league, not have any sort of imprint on the football game or the scheme and what you did? And of course, that extends then to Garrett Wilson. If you can't get Breece Hall and the offensive line into it, well, then you can't get Garrett Wilson involved with it.
No.
And Justin Fields seemed to revert back to what we were a little bit concerned with in preseason, as far as just the overall look of how he was going through his reads before he left the football game.
Everything you said is a detriment to Justin Fields.
Right.
He needs the running game so he can keep the ball every once in a while and run.
Yeah.
He needs the running game for his play actions, for the defense to spread more so he can see it cleaner, to let guys get down the field. I mean, it's everything.
Right.
So, and that's how it's connected. And I think he was 3 for 11. I wrote it down.
Yeah, let me check real quick.
For 30 yards.
Yeah, 3 for 11 for 27 yards. He was sacked twice. He was the leading carrier with 5 carries and 49 yards. Wow. And it's just not going to cut it. So I mean, it's like, man, the Bills, they're again proving they can win multiple ways. Super impressive again. Josh Allen breaks his damn nose. It doesn't matter. He's still all smiles and giggles like a schoolboy out there having fun. And again, we thought going into it, the Jets would be able to kind of push around this Buffalo defensive line because it looked a little smaller. The Ravens were able to do it so easily a week ago. But see, here's the difference, right? The The Steelers, 2 weeks in a row, same problem, right? No, nothing fixed. Bills, not the case today, right? I mean, undersized, got pushed around by the Ravens. Not the case today. Really did a good job of holding their ground and didn't really let anything on the ground game damage them in that way.
Yeah, it was really great. Oh my gosh. Here,
Yeah.
a couple guys.
Yep.
Mac Jones comes in for Purdy.
The Mac attack.
He played really well, 26 of 39, 279, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. And he's sitting there going, this is the way it should have been for me.
That's right. That's right.
They move up to take Mac Jones, and then instead they take Trey Lance.
Yeah. In some other weird multiverse, Mac Jones was drafted by the 49ers, and, he's already gotten on his second contract, and he's living a beautiful life. And in this world, in this reality, he was drafted by the New England Patriots, and, well, you know how that went. So, but
you know what? You know how it went?
Yeah.
His rookie year, he was all pro. He made the pro.
He was legit. He was.
And he deserved it. And he played really well in the playoff game up in Buffalo. And the numbers they're not good, but the team stunk. They dropped the mini passes. It was cold, windy. Yeah. And I was like, wow, he carried himself really well. And then, hell, it went downhill every year up in New England.
Yeah, it was exciting, too, because I feel like Mac Jones, we had been pretty critical about his throwing motion in the past years, especially towards the end of New England. And a lot of that probably was the fact of just like he didn't know what the hell was going on because the offense was just that poorly run. But the motion, his mechanics, his pocket movement, much cleaner today. Ball was coming off his hand really well. He was throwing some accurate throws. The one that I think I got most excited about, he did a beautiful throw, a touch throw, kind of over a defender in front of another defender, Juwan Jennings, towards the sideline there. A nice developing play. And, when you're making those type of throws as aggressively as he did, that kind of just tells you, like, okay, dude was feeling it. And this isn't a game where, like, the 49ers dominated the line of scrimmage and Christian McCaffrey ran for 150 yards. The offense really was about Mac Jones and his ability to make good decisions, and he did a great job. He played clean all day today.
Yeah, too, and Brock Purdy, and just like we've seen with Jimmy Garoppolo and all the quarterbacks have been in San Francisco. Kyle Shanahan likes a certain guy, and Mac Jones fits exactly what he wants. A guy that is smart, will get rid of the football and anticipate really quick, and is accurate. I think the one thing, even when he was down in Jacksonville, when he did play, his arm strength every once in a while, it was not fitting the offense.
Right.
Just a little, So I think that's one thing. He's never going to change his motion. It's good. It's quick. He keeps it up and all that. But if he could use anything, just a little more pepper on it. Just a little.
Right. Well, the other thing that I think that popped up a little bit, Saleh, the defense looks a little bit more to what we're used to seeing from them. And Michael Williams, right, the young man out of Georgia, number 98, really showed out too, right? 2 tackles for a loss. And you could see that he was very active on the defensive line, very disruptive. So just good to see that San Francisco kind of getting their groove back on that defensive side of the football again, which had been missing the past 2 years.
I'm going to talk about Tua did have a great statistical day, but I want to talk about this other guy who really is starting to – it's every week. Drake Maye, 19 of 23, 230, 2 touchdowns, 31 yards rushing. And was that today? But he was 30 of 46, 287 the week before.
That's right.
So he's putting up numbers. He's throwing the ball really well. He's big. He makes it look easy. I don't know whether he's Drew Bledsoe or a little bit of that or Justin Herbert in a way, and doesn't have Justin Herbert's arm, but he has a really good arm.
Right.
It's they found a way to win today. The New England Patriots did, and Drake Maye played another good game. So they got to feel good about their team.
I think that was a really big win for New England because it looked like one of those games where you're like, oh, Miami's just going to win against New England in Miami because that's just what happens in Miami against New England. But I think you're exactly right. Drake Maye just kind of showed now with the system in place and with the offense being as balanced as it is, like, he's got the skill set and the motion is definitely cleaner than it was a year ago. He's seeing the field well. You can see that it's structured well. Ramondre Stevenson's the leading receiver of the football team with 5 catches, 88 out of the backfield. But just the play design and the organization of everything just looks that much better for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, the one thing we've talked a lot about here tonight and everything is that it's you can't go out the days of thinking you're just going to be super conservative on offense. I think they're kind of over. You got to go out and you got to just go.
Yeah.
You got right away. You just got to start attacking.
Right.
I mean, some teams can't because they don't have that ability because they don't have enough talent to even think about attacking. They're
Right.
trying to do the opposite. They just want to have. We're just worried about our preservation here. So and these aggressive play callers and designers, they're going to win a lot of games they didn't deserve to win or didn't have the talent to win, but they win it because of the coach.
Are you a little concerned by just Miami New England's defense in today's matchup against Miami?
Yeah, very much. I mean, they got shredded 2 weeks in a row.
Okay.
So that Geno got them big. I think about 360 just off the top of my head.
Totally different style though. That's what's interesting too. Like Geno, power throws, deep overs into tight coverage, just ripping it in there. Of course, with Miami, a little bit of a different style, but Tyreek went off today, right? And he really performed well, and they were able to hit some of those gadget plays that have served them extremely well.
Yeah. So that was big for them too, to kind of get it going. Tyreek's in the news again. The loss last week, how bad they looked. And today, at least the offense was playing well. And so that.
Yeah, the little snafu there in the fourth quarter by them offensively, right? A little shaky in critical situations late in the game. That's ultimately why they lost the football game.
Okay. Yeah, I did not see that. I was
okay.
I was locked in on the Kansas City game. I was like, all right, I'm done.
I hear you.
The Cardinals, they won again. They're 2-0. And I watched them and I go, yeah, it's not exciting enough right now. I want to see Kansas City, and Philly. Just really watch that game and really see what happens and hear everybody have a different take on how it went down.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the concerning thing for Carolina is just that I don't know. I'm not really sure what to make of it. I'm just going to I'll pass on this for now. They're 0-2. Bryce Young, statistically, it looks good. It didn't feel that way when I looked and watched the game, right? It just looks like clunky and just a little, I don't know, just there's no rhythm to the football team. But Teta Taroa McMillan, excuse me, I couldn't speak there for a second. He showed out today, and he was very impressive. And there was a few plays where, man, he looks the part. He's a good, solid, big, strong X receiver that you want in those one-on-one matchups that happened last week against Jacksonville. He showed that skill set. It was even more diversified, the offense, and how he was able to get a part of it today. So really, really exciting. And Jatavion Sanders, right? He popped up a little bit too today, but I don't know. I'm not really sure what to make it. Kyler Murray doing what Kyler Murray does, playing conservative and not losing the football game. Dude plays careful, but it's the way they kind of need to win right now. So he's doing a good job of that.
They are a team. They're going to grind you.
They are.
You're right. Yeah. Kyler Murray last year and the start this year, he's done that. And they got enough. Can they use, when I look at them, I don't wow, their skill set is great, but it's good enough. And they're just playing. I hate the phrase, but I'm going to say it, complementary football.
Yeah.
They're running the ball enough. They got a really good tight end. And, look, they're a tough team.
Right.
And I think what we saw in 2 weeks, I feel pretty safe in saying that's who they're going to be all year.
Yeah, it is. It is.
The way the head coach wants it.
Yeah, no doubt.
He wants it a little dirty. No, I mean, he really does. And I think that's what I noticed that in the first 2 or 3 weeks when he got hired and they played, I go, oh, this guy's got the whip. He knows how to handle everybody, and they played a certain style. So good for Arizona. Hey, the fact that they're 2-0 means I'm just going to have to pay more attention to them.
That's right.
And just see if 2-0 is real, which I think it is, and see how long they can go on.
Hey, it doesn't even matter if it's real or not. When you win the game, you can't apologize for it, especially in the NFL. You move on and just say, hey, yeah, we probably didn't deserve to win that one, but we still won. And, no take backs.
Man, you never say that. We had a few breaks go our way, but we're better than you anyway. We deserve it, so shut up.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what you said.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. And that's where it's just the ball bounced our way because we earned it. We worked hard enough for it.
Right.
And then I guess the one final note is just Joe Burrow, the toe injury.
Oh, boy.
Not exactly sure what the extent of it is yet.
Well, it's a ligament damage. I heard it on TV before we started. It was
yeah. But do we know how long potentially he could be out for? I haven't heard that report yet.
I don't know. I never had a toe injury. Everybody that has those big toe injuries, it's hard to, it's bothersome for quite a while.
Yeah.
So, man,
yeah. I mean, it's if that's the truth, and listen, if he's out for an extended period of time, already concerns with just Cincinnati defensively and just their lack of depth on that football team, on that side of the football. Browning did some good stuff again, as he always does. Did turn the football over today, but also moved the football well. But yeah, Joe Burrow being out for the Cincinnati Bengals is not what they envisioned to start the year.
Remember what I said last year? We were talking about Browning.
Yeah.
And I said, well, he said he learned for Joe Burrow, just be calm.
That's right.
Don't overthink. Just play.
Yeah. And
the way he said it, really, I was like, wow, that's the way you do it.
Yeah.
He learned that from Joe Burrow, just to stay calm at all times and just keep grinding away.
Like what I'm seeing so far from the Jacksonville Jaguars and Trevor Lawrence. So that's exciting. I think they're a team that could be a little bit better than maybe we anticipated going into the year. So the AFC South randomly pretty interesting of a division this year. And I'm really excited to see kind of how it continues to play out between these teams, because even despite the loss today, there's Cam Ward doing some pretty special things. I mean, it wasn't sexy statistically, but wow, he made some great throws.
Oh yeah, they were. It put a smile on your face.
That's sure. Yeah.
Whatever you think of the Houston Texans, let me tell you something. It's real.
Yeah.
So man, just watching them last week and everything, wow, they're so fast, so aggressive. They're going to win games just with their defense. And CJ Stroud, man, he's playing under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But he's handling it well.
Yeah.
And thank God he's got a tight, compact, quick motion, because he sure needs it.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And Stafford balled out again today. Yeah, big shocker, hitting Davante Adams for a touchdown. Davante Adams now, I believe, is 10th all-time for receiving touchdowns in the NFL. Shout out to Davante Adams. Man, that's a scary combination. All right, big guy. I think we've hit our limit here. All right, we've gone 47 minutes now. We got the game coming up here pretty soon. I'm excited about that. Any closing arguments, Captain Simms?
No, I just kind of want to go back to what we did last week and the games we picked and how bad you
yeah. I honestly
I don't know about today, though. We didn't pick today's games.
We really did. Did we?
Nope.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really pick all of them. No, we didn't. All right. Well, hey, maybe that's why, because I did so bad. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a bye week.
Is that it? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that was good.
Yeah. You the man. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to picking again.
Probably on, we'll do that. Probably on Wednesday, we'll talk. It gives me time to go over all these games real quick and see what I didn't know and things like that. I love doing it. There's nothing like you have a perception what goes on in the game.
Yeah.
And then you turn on your computer, your TV, whatever, and you watch the games, you go, wow, my perception was awful.
Yeah.
It's always kind of a different, it always has a different meaning than you anticipate having as you go to watch it.
Well, it's the same too when you played, right? And I played great. You go and watch the film, you're like, I could have played maybe a little bit better. Yeah. It's like, I played terrible. It's like, no, I actually played pretty good, So it is interesting, just your viewpoint of the game live in the moment compared to when you have time to reflect and kind of see exactly what took place. But that's why it is damn fun, man. So big guy, you the man, enjoy tonight's football game. Who are you rooting for? Who you?
Hell, I'm sitting here. I don't even know who's playing right now.
It's Falcons Vikings tonight.
Yeah, so I thought. Okay, Atlanta.
You got a rematch of the national championship quarterbacks all over again.
Yeah, my first and foremost. Well, I always want to see what Brian Flores is going to do.
Of course, of course.
He is unbelievable.
I thought the Falcons defense looked a little bit better last week and shows a little signs of improvement. So that's exciting. And listen, this game's not going to go to overtime. Instead, they're just going to get JJ and Michael Penix in a 10-yard duel, and whoever throws it hard enough and kills the other guy first wins the game. Because these dudes, Yeah, these dudes are going to throw the football as hard as they can on every single football play, and it's going to be really fun.
I was at a dinner last night, and I must have had 5 people go, "Hey, this Penix guy, what do you think? Is he any good?" And I go, "What?" He goes, "Because then they'll go, I think he's really good." And I said,
Yeah.
"You're really right. You should be an evaluator."
Yeah.
But they couldn't get over how easy he makes so many dynamic throws.
Yeah. Right.
And I said, well, that's why he's there.
Yeah.
They had Kirk Cousins. They went and worked him out. And it's windy as can be. He goes, "No, we don't need to throw indoors." He goes outside, and it doesn't mean anything to him.
Yeah.
He's ripping it. And they're just like going, "Oh my God, this guy is really, I don't hear this anymore. Arm strength is overrated." Oh, is it really? Oh, I don't know that. We never count the number of power throws that are made only because it was a power throw.
Right.
If it was a normal throw, it would have been knocked down or intercepted.
Yeah, exactly.
Usually the special throws are either long ones that going over or ones that you just have to lace it perfectly and put it exactly where you wanted it.
Right.
And that's the power throw.
Yeah.
It's not overrated. That's a lot of times it's the difference in the game.
No doubt. Well, I mean, honestly, ever since Montana and Walsh, if you're a quarterback that's worth a damn in the NFL, it's because you could throw it with power when you needed to into tight coverage, right? It wasn't the finesse. Outside of that combination, right, when they were ahead of their time as far as just offensive play design,
no doubt.
All the great ones that we'll always talk about are going to be unbelievable power throwers, right? Yeah. And of course, hey, there's been some finesse guys here and there, but like the great ones that we continuously talk about, right, are the guys that can just drop back at and rip it and cut it loose, right, with just
I don't even know if I can do justice to all of it. John Elway, Dan Marino,
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is
I don't care what you say. He's one of the best throwers the game's ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
People always talk about everything else other than the fact that he's.
I just saw him on TV. I saw him on TV. I don't know if he did it at the game or what, where he took a ball and he threw it, and I went, "That was a good throw."
Right.
It looked like it was about a 40 or 50-yard target out there, and he threw it right to the guy standing there.
Right.
Oh yeah. There's Brett Favre was a great.
Of course, Aaron Rodgers in his prime. There's no doubt about that. Patrick Mahomes, Matt Stafford. I mean, the list goes on, man. And it's
Josh Allen. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
A lot of Lamar.
Yes, agree.
I tell people that kind of stuff all the time. People still don't have that in their head, that he is a really good passer, passer of the ball. But when he needs to put heat on it, he can really let it go.
Yeah, he can.
So the league's loaded with great arms. There's no doubt. All right, I can go.
Hey, you the man. Appreciate it. Go eat some dinner, dog. Enjoy the game.
Yeah, I'm going to. Don't worry. I'm gonna lay on the couch like a big slob and eat laying down.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll probably write some notes during it just if something.
All right, just let it go. We'll see you next time, big guy. You the man.
All right, see you.
See ya.
Yeah, it was too much information.
That was.